Tonight, I want to tell you about something that haunts the train stations of Japan, something that waits in the shadows, something that drags itself through the darkness, making a sound that will chill your blood. Teke 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 Teke. This is the story of Teke Teke. Vengeful spirits are deeply woven into Japanese culture. For over 1,000 years, the Japanese have told stories of Onryo, ghosts consumed by rage and sorrow, spirits who refuse to rest, spirits who hunt the living. But Teke Teke is different. She's not ancient. She's modern. Born from the bullet trains and concrete platforms of post-war Japan, and she's waiting for you. Let me take you back. Back to when Japan was rebuilding itself after World War II in 1964. The country unveiled the Shinkansen, the world's first bullet train, a marvel of technology, a symbol of progress, but with speed came danger. And with danger came death. In those early years, accidents were too common. People fell onto the tracks, bodies were torn apart by trains moving at impossible speeds. And sometimes those who died didn't stay dead. There are two versions of how Teke Teke came to be. Two tragedies, two vengeful spirits, but both end the same way. In blood, in horror, in revenge. The first story tells of a young schoolgirl, just an ordinary child, but she had one weakness. She was terrified of shadows. Even her own shadow frightened her. Her classmates knew this, and they mocked her, ridiculed her, made her the target of their cruel jokes. One afternoon after school, she stood on the platform waiting for her train. Her so-called friends thought it would be funny to play one last prank. They placed a bug, a cicada, on her shoulder. She saw it, and she panicked in her terror. She stumbled backward, lost her balance, and fell right onto the tracks. The Shinkansen came moments later, moving at over 200 kilometers per hour. There was no time to stop, no time to scream. The train cut her in half, but here's the thing. She didn't die right away. The impact was so violent, so sudden, that her body went into shock. She lay there on the tracks, split at the waist, still conscious, still aware. And in those final moments, as the life drained from her, something dark took root in her soul. Not just pain, not just fear, rage. Pure, burning rage at the cruelty of the world, at the friends who pushed her to this, at the universe that let this happen. She died with that rage, and it wouldn't let her rest. Now she haunts the train stations, dragging her upper body with her hands, with her elbows, moving impossibly fast. And as she crawls, she makes that sound, Teke Teke, Teke Teke, Teke Teke, the sound of her elbows scraping concrete, the sound of her fingernails clawing the ground, the sound of vengeance. When she finds you, she asks no questions. She simply does to you what was done to her. She carries a scythe, and she slices you in half, making you just like her. The second story is even darker, even more tragic. Her name was Kashima Reiko, a young woman from Hokkaido in northern Japan. After World War II ended, she was attacked, assaulted by military personnel, left broken and traumatized that night. In despair, she threw herself from a bridge onto the railway tracks below. A train came, and it severed her body at the waist. But here's where it gets truly horrifying. It was winter in Hokkaido. The temperature was far below freezing, and when the train cut through her, the extreme cold caused her blood vessels to contract. She didn't bleed out, not quickly. Anyway, she was still alive, still conscious, writhing in agony on the frozen tracks. She screamed for help over and over, her cries echoing through the night. Finally, a station attendant heard her, came to investigate. He saw her there, a woman torn in half, begging to be saved. And he did nothing. He couldn't bear to look at her, couldn't bear to touch her mutilated body, so he covered her with a plastic tarp and walked away. Kashima Reiko died slowly, alone, abandoned, betrayed by humanity one final time. And when she died, her spirit didn't find peace, it found purpose. Now she haunts not just train stations, but bathrooms too. School bathrooms, public restrooms. Anywhere she can corner the living. If you're unlucky enough to encounter her, she'll ask you one question. Where are my legs? If you don't answer, she'll tear you apart. If you answer wrong, she'll slice off your legs. There's only one way to survive. One answer that might save you. You must say your legs are on the Meishin Expressway. Only then will she leave you alone. But here's the terrifying part. According to legend, simply hearing this story puts you at risk. 3 days after learning about Teke Teke, she might appear to you in a dream on a dark street, in an empty bathroom. And when she does, you'd better remember the answer, because Teke Teke moves fast, impossibly fast. Some say she can crawl at speeds of up to 150 kilometers per hour, faster than you can run, faster than you can drive. And when she catches you, there's no mercy, no escape. She will make you like her. This legend has haunted Japan for decades now. It's been turned into films, video games, manga, but it refuses to fade away, because Teke Teke represents something primal, something we all fear: the consequences of cruelty, the price of indifference, the rage of those we've wronged. She's a warning, a reminder: be kind, show compassion. Because if you don't, if you push someone too far, if you turn your back on someone in need, they might just come crawling back. So tonight, when you're walking home alone, listen carefully. Listen for that sound. Teke 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 thee. The scraping of fingernails on pavement. The dragging of a broken body through the dark. And if you hear it getting closer, remember what I told you. Remember the answer. Because Teke Teke is waiting, and she's very, very patient.